Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Mr. Hydration Station. I am your host, Mr. Hydration. Today we have an awesome guest, an amazing MMA fighter in Brok Weaver, Chatatuska, Brok Weaver. He's going to be coming on with us here in a little bit. But first, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. These are people that have helped me along the way. These are people that I appreciate and respect greatly, and I always want to give a shout out to. Let's start off with first Rodriguez BJJ, RBJJ out of Peru, Illinois. This is Danny Rodriguez. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Mark Turner. And he's a professional MMA fighter, has had fights under his belt. He's got plenty of accolades in the Jiu-Jitsu world. He's won worlds. He's won a Naga. He's gone and done it all. And he's right here in our backyard in La Salle, Peru. In the Peru Mall specifically. A great dude, RBJJ. If you want to learn about combat sports, if you want to do kickboxing, you want to do jiu-jitsu, primarily, obviously, wrestling, MMA, all of it, it's right here in Peru, Illinois. Not too far from where I live in Streeter. It's like a 30-minute drive, 20-minute drive from Ottawa. There's so many things that are so close to Peru, Illinois. It's easily accessible, and the dude's a monster. He's a legitimate bona fide monster. He's got titles to prove it, and he's right here in our backyard. So RBJJ, make sure you go check him out. If you want to get your kids into some classes, maybe they got a little extra energy that a little bit hard to control, put them in some jiu-jitsu classes, and I promise you it's going to really, I guess, channel their energy, which is what you really want, right? You would definitely want to channel that energy. So definitely go and check out RBJJ. That's Rodriguez Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over in Peru, Illinois. Next up, I want to give a shout out to Lucas Too Strong Wally and his team Too Strong. If you ever want to go train in Ottawa, he's got a gym he's got a ring in his garage. Make sure you go check him out. Professional MMA fighter. The team is great to work with. They're great people, all of them all around, super respectful, super driven. And I'm a big fan of Lucas. Not only is he my friend, but he's a really, really awesome person. Hey, yeah, me too, my brother. Me too, my brother. As soon as he gets on, we'll get him on here. But yes, I just want to give a shout out to Lucas Too Strong and his team. AP is on the team as well. He just won his last fight. And I'm telling you, man, it's nothing but good vibes over there. If you want to learn how to fight, you want to learn how to defend yourself, primarily, maybe get into a couple fights. They can absolutely work with you and making sure that you face the right competition. And definitely get your skills up if you've already been in some fights. So definitely hit up Lucas Too Strong and RBJJ in Peru, Illinois. Lucas Too Strong's gym being in Ottawa. And they go on runs too and do all kinds of stuff like group activities. So definitely want to give them a shout out because I appreciate and respect them. Another person I want to give a shout out to is to DJ Slim. He's the DJ company that I work with. DJ Slim, make sure you hit them up for any and all entertainment purposes. They're great people to work with. I love working with them. They've gone above and beyond to help me out when I had nothing. And now that I have, more, more than nothing, definitely hit them up. We do all kinds of, we'll work with you for bars, bar mitzvahs, weddings. You need an MC. I can be your MC. I play music. I sing. We can even host karaoke events or just DJ events in general. Make sure you hit them up. DJ Slim at 815-257-2601. Another person I want to give a shout out to is K Squared Imagery. He's the guy that took this picture right here. That's at a festival. Snapped a picture. I put my little Mr. Hydration logo on it, and now I am here. He's a great person to work with. That's K Squared Imagery, the letter K, the word squared imagery. Make sure you look them up on Facebook. They're real great people to work with. They did my first music video. That's Victor Raul Superhero. You can look that up on YouTube. Another person I want to give a shout out to is Sup Marf Studios. That's SUPMARF. MARF, Sup Marf Studios, one word, on YouTube. He shot my second music video. Great gentleman. He does great mixing in terms of songs and music. If you ever want to get professionally recorded, that's the guy to go to. Really, really appreciate that, man. And of course, I want to give a shout out to PFC. That's Peoria Fight Club out of Peoria, Illinois. They're doing a great thing in terms of really trying to channel down the crime rate and give people an outlet to go out there, and you can box if you want to. You can do MMA, kickboxing, grappling, wrestling, whatever you want to, as long as two people agree. get in the ring. You guys can do it to work out your issues, work out your beefs, and at the end of the day, shake hands, hug, and then walk away. Their moniker is gloves up, guns down. It's a great spot to go to if you want to release some energy. Maybe you got some beef with somebody, you want to go settle it. That's the place to do it. So absolutely a big admirer of Robert Bryant. Not only is he making a change in his community with the adults, he's also making a change in the community with the kids and working with them and teaching boxing classes to the schools now. He just got the okay to do that, I think maybe 2 weeks ago. So it's just brand new. He's working his way up. So big props to him as well. And I want to give a shout out to the Hard Rock Radio Network. They're the ones that started me in this whole podcasting endeavor. Huge shout out to them. It's hrrnrocks.com. Make sure you hit them up on Saturdays. They do a show from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday nights, every Saturday. It's called the Weekend Work Release Program. Really good people over there. They helped me out when I was a nobody, and here I am making my way back up. So those are my shout outs. So like I said, our guest today is one of the biggest splashes I've ever seen in terms of like MMA. This man has a ton of energy. He's a warrior at heart, the Native American warrior himself, Chattahoochee, Brok Weaver. Let's add him to the stream. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just
Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
You can hear me?
It's just delayed. My bad. Yeah, it's just delayed.
Okay, good. But yeah, man, good, man. Just got to finish it up training. About to go back in like an hour. So that's why we had to do it this time.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I told you I'd work around whatever schedule you got. 100%. I'm a huge fan ever since your I guess the post-fight interview that you had on the Contender Series, and I've been a big fan ever since, man. I'm a huge fan of your energy, dude. I really am.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's all, like I said in that, it's all about the hype. It's what I've always said. It's what my people are all about, the Moas, and it's just bred in me, man. Just energy and hype, and when it ain't there, it sometimes sucks. So
I feel that, man. 100%. I feel that, dude. So why don't you give us a little background story about where you grew up and the whole spectrum, where you come from, man.
Man, I come from the woods, literally the woods. No street lights, two gas stations, a dollar store, a bank, and one main paved highway. Everything else is dirt roads. Small, state-recognized tribe, Indian reservation, Moa Choctaws. We're part of the band of the Choctaws, the big Choctaw Nation. Outcasts, outcasted Indians, man. Only the state recognizes us, and we're still battling to be federal recognized, which is I've seen there's a lot of state recognized tribes out there, and that's been a whole cause, get enough publicity, get enough, stardom and win enough matches, man, and give back to my people. Growing up in reservation life, I've seen a generational curse. Everybody kind of, if you are federal recognized and you get a little dividend check, you wait on that every year, and you don't try to work or get off. And then if you don't, you're a poor reservation and everybody's living in trailers and basically teepees. Some of them,
Damn.
I mean, not for real, but almost,
I get what you're saying. Absolutely, man.
But drugs run down the community horrible. I mean, and the hood life and just growing up fighting, man. I was, like I said in a couple of interviews before, I was a light-skinned Moa, man. I was small growing up, and everybody was an athlete, and everybody loved to fight, and everybody was known for fighting. All the Moas, all my people, we're like a warrior race, bro. From where I'm from, like white people, black people, they know when they bump into the Moas, we come in groups, and everybody likes to fight. Coming up, man, it's like you go out just to fight. Like it wasn't even really to go out and get girls. Let's go out, fight. Then if we didn't go to jail, get girls. Fighting was first. It's like we're going out to party, but we're going out to fight. And just having that mentality. And then one day a couple of my cousins was some pro fighters. My uncle, he boxed Roy Jones Jr. 6 times an amateur.
Damn.
And Roy's dad, Big Roy, he loved me, he loved my uncle. He I used to go train with him a lot, and just growing up into that atmosphere, man, and what I really don't know what separated me from making it, but I just don't know how to give up. I don't know how to stop. I don't really know. Kind of fell in love with fighting at the age of 14 and ain't really looked back. You know, went up and down, up and down, up and down. Now my career's still going up and down. You know, I made it to the UFC and it was like I got there and I was like, dang, this ain't what I expected it to be. Yeah, I could have made a lot of money and could have got more famous and won some fights, but it just didn't happen that way, you know. But I'm probably gonna go back and for sure I'll go back and
I believe in you, man,
fight.
for sure.
Oh yeah, like I'm only 29, bro. Like I don't expect to
Still
quit.
young, still young.
Never had a surgery ever, and knock on wood, you know. But healthy, you know. So I can go till I'm 40, bro. I'll definitely be back in the UFC, but I might venture around the world and play in a couple other places and make some money, man. You know, it's what it's all about right now. Start to make some money, start to fill my bank account up, man, and then that'll take a big weight off my shoulders. But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
so obviously the run didn't go your way. What did it feel like? Did you get the UFC jitters when you were going in there? And maybe like like you said, it wasn't exactly what you expected, but in what sense was it not what you expected?
That first fight when I come out in New Mexico when I fought Vargas, man, I come out. One of my managers said, "Man, that's the first time I went from seeing a crowd boo a person when he first started coming out to when you made it to the cage, everybody was cheering for you. You like you changed the
Their
atmosphere,
opinion, their
their
whole
opinion,
energy.
their whole energy. Now they were going for you, you know. And I've always said that. Like I even remember in the contender fight when I fought Devin, his boys when I come out, they were like talking. I could hear them talking, and I was like, okay. It only had like one or two of my boys there, you know, and they started giving me hype. And by the time he come out, his boys were cheering for me, and I was like, I switched their energy. They come up, shake my hand. I was like a fan after that. I'm like, I'm out to get the crowd, you know. So that first fight, man, I was like, I stepped in the cage and I was just like in the Matrix, man. I saw everything Vargas was throwing. It was slow. A couple of it landed, but I was feeling so good. He took me down. I got up easy. I got him in the guillotine. He grabbed my glove, like, and I could hear him breathing heavy. I was like, yeah, I'm about to either submit him, he's about to give me his neck again, or I'm gonna get up and knock him out because what people don't know is I landed two straight laser straight left hands and hit him in the neck right before he caught my leg and tripped me. You know, and a lot of people, I was just like, I was feeling it, man. It was like the Matrix. But that illegal knee, bro, something switched, man. And I feel punches now in training a little bit. Um,
Damn.
I had a bad concussion. Man. And yeah, like I ain't never been hurt like that ever in my whole career, like brain wise, you know. I've always had like a hard chin. Barely felt punches, but I didn't even. I thought I didn't even know what was going on. Like I thought it was the end of the round. It was like 1 minute left, you know. And then I felt like that just
Do you
took
think
all
that
my
set the tone for the following fights?
yes. And then COVID happened, and then
Yeah, that was fucked up.
all the reservations shut down. Like Walmart's 50 miles north, south, east, or west from me on the reservation. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like everything shut down, so everybody was scared to like. Definitely Indians, you know, scared to go to get to COVID. So I'm like training barely on top of the hill by myself, hitting, like getting fat, eating, you know, grandma's cooking every day, walking around at 190, 188. And then they call me for that fight. And I'm just bored. Okay, I'll take the fight, 5-day notice, fight Roosevelt, lose 30 pounds, you know, and just
Savage, man.
yeah,
I
just
mean,
bored, man. And when I went in there with no crowd, man, you know, no excuses. Roosevelt, you know, he whooped me, but he didn't get the best Brok Weaver. But maybe you're not gonna get the best you when you go in there. Shit's gonna happen, life's gonna happen, you know. And like I said, man, I felt like just the whole energy, something just I haven't really been able to get my magic back until last fight. This last icon fight, the walkout. I felt the crowd, even though it was very little and it was in Los Mochis and the crowd was against me. I still love to hear the energy. You know, I still
yeah.
fed off of it. Plus I like being the bad guy. I'm gonna be the bad guy most. I wouldn't even say like a bad guy. I'm like I'm more like a Vegeta.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not a Frieza bad guy, but I'm like a Vegeta bad guy. But but Goku's my dude though. But I would say in the fights, I do like to I try to be the bad guy. So get to do that, man. I feel like my energy's coming back. But hey, everything happens for a reason, man. And I'll be back in the UFC, and I'll redeem myself.
I believe it, man. I do want to ask you, 'cause since you were talking about the knee, how it changed. Basically, something changed during that knee. Did you watch the Aljamain Sterling Peter Yan fight?
Oh yeah.
What did you think about his reaction in that? What's your opinion there? Because coming from someone who just said that that knee did affect you in that manner, what would you say? I guess what is your opinion?
He was hurt. I think he was hurt. It was the right call. It definitely was, just because I was in that situation, that same situation, but mine was like I think I have probably, if you do like a rating, I probably have the all-time worst illegal knee in UFC history. Like really, like he pulled my head down into my jaw. His Aljamain's was like on the side of here, like boom,
Yeah,
kind of grazing off, but you could tell it rocked it. Like mine put me to sleep to where I wasn't back awake until I was on the stool, and I saw doctors beside me, and I think I was like, "You're not my corner man. Who are you?" They're like, "You won." I'm like, "No, I didn't." I was like, "Yeah, he illegal need you." I'm like, "No, he didn't. Let's just continue fighting." Like y'all tripping. Like I was like out like that, and then I had like the worst headache in my life that night. I thought I was gonna die. Should have went to the hospital, but I didn't because I wasn't hurting when they first asked me. But by the time I get back on the bus, my brain was like I felt like it was about to just rupture all night, man. And I didn't go to the hospital, which was dumb. And probably started back sparring a month later, which was dumb. And now I'm starting to feel slight effects from it. But you know what has helped? Now I can't rely on my chin. So you know what I do now? I started back moving my head in training.
yeah.
I got better head movement. So now I'm gonna just be unhittable instead of hittable and durable.
Right.
I like the unhittable Brok better. I think so. I'm far better in every aspect, I think, than even the UFC. So, but I'm training with UFC guys every day. Like right now, I'm training. I'm pretty much, Dustin's main guy for Connor right now. Because I'm southpaw and I got the long stance. So, Mike's got me working with Dustin every day, and that's just getting me better every day. Every day I get to go with the world's best. I mean, he's definitely one of the best.
I mean, he's consensually considered number one. The only
Yeah.
reason he didn't fight for the title is because he wanted a counter fight. So, like, you're training with the best every day, man. You're definitely going to get better and better.
Yeah. That's the only way to do it, man. And I've tried it all ways. In Alabama, it wasn't getting it for me. I'm the best there. I'm not getting any better.
So now that you've gotten the win over Alexander, what is your next move? Do you have a fight coming up? Do you even want a fight coming up? Do you want to train more before you have one? Because I remember accidentally sending you a message saying that I'm really excited about your PKFC fight, but you're like, I don't have one. And then I reread the post and I was like, oh, that was my bad. So do you have one coming up, I guess?
I got something coming up. I can't announce it yet. I thought they was gonna announce it today, but maybe they're gonna wait another day or two, or maybe Monday they'll let me announce it. But yeah, I'm fighting soon, probably.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
It's gonna be pretty cool to announce. I like it. I'm excited. But yeah, man, I ain't taking no breaks, bro. I'm trying to fight as much as possible till I can get back in there. You feel me? That's the goal. That's the mission. Get back to the UFC. Prove people wrong. Prove myself wrong. Prove self-doubt. Make a new goal. The first goal was make it to the UFC. Second goal, make it back, and become a champ. Or whatever. Make it as high as I can go, or go to Bellator, become a champ, or wherever. But one more win, my stock will go back up. I'm already marketable. People already love me. I just got to get one more good win. I think this win on this fight, it should get my stock up, and then we should get something real big up coming up. So, but regardless, I don't care. I've always said if I got kicked out of UFC, I was just gonna go right back to fighting wherever, win, and come right back. Or go wherever. Like I said, it doesn't matter, man.
You're definitely right, man. You got a super marketable. I mean, just demeanor, character, whatever you want to call it. It's super. It connects with everyone. I haven't met anyone who talks bad about you at all. Like just watching the fights, and everyone's just like, "Oh, he's fighting. All right, let's go, let's see this." And this has been one of the most anticipated interviews that I've had in a while. So people are like super interested in what you do and what you bring to the table. And obviously, after that last win, you had that epic post fight. You always have an epic post fight, something on the mic, man. It's so cool.
Hey, man, I cut promos, bro. Promos. Wrestling's my true calling. Pro wrestling.
And, yeah. Would you ever consider doing that?
Oh, I'm in training. I got something good coming for y'all.
God, dude. Come on, bro. Oh yeah.
King Mo's one of my coaches, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
I've been sneaking in some little pro wrestling classes around here, and I think that whole side of the career is just a whole different energy, and they like me, they love me, and I'm definitely considering probably end of this year doing something like that.
Dude, so, that would be dope as fuck. I'm tuning in. I'm definitely tuning into that. So I have to ask you, man. Obviously, like it's one thing to know how to fight, one thing to grow up in that kind of environment, but it's a whole nother thing to even know how to cut a promo. There's some people that don't even know how to do it. What do you say? What can you accredit that to?
The energy, like I said, man, charisma. You put one Moa in a room full of 50 other people, and they're 30 of them people are probably gonna be talking that one Moa, and it just runs through us, bro. We the life of the party. We charismatic, persuaders, white women and other people. They were like, man, Moas, they talking and doing anything. They make you love them. They they bring good energy. They're crazy, and
crazy.
Just growing up around older cousins and uncles that were just legends and fighting and legends and whatever, just that energy, it helped, and it helped definitely. I grew up around pro wrestling too. Pro wrestling was big on the reservations. I mean, I used to go to the gyms and pro wrestlers would come in, and I would see them cutting. My grandpa was a huge pro wrestling fan. Still watches it to the day. Everything, knows every wrestler, every background.
And that's crazy.
Just watching Ric Flair, watching The Rock, watching Steve Austin. I'm like, and when I decide to fight, I'm like, I can't just be an average fighter. I can't just be like these days. All you gotta do is be a good fighter, but a great character, and then you can make it somewhere in this. You can't just be a great fighter anymore. Like Khabib got by because Khabib's low key funny when he don't try to be funny, and that's good. He had but you don't really see any other like Russian or any because they don't know how to talk yet. You got a bit like Kamyov. He kind of knows. He's got a little personality, and that's why he's looked upon too, and he can fight. It comes along people just the camera. Fighters are weird too, man. I live here with the greatest fighters in the world at this ATT dorm here, and man, fighters is just weird, man. I know I'm weird, but you just got some. I examine people and I read them, and I'm just like, that's why they can't talk good, or this is why they can only fight good. Fighters are crazy, man. It's a fun lifestyle to be around, man. I'm blessed to get to do. Anytime I lose, it's worth it. And definitely when you win, but anytime I lose, man, it's worth it because I'm getting to live my dream, man, and meet the greatest people on earth that do what I do.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that for sure. Anytime you get to do what you love to do, it's a great time, and to be around other people that love to do the same thing too is even better. It's like it's almost kind of like a communal, like a familial thing. You know, I was in the military. I was in the Marine Corps, so like definitely being around that same type of mentality is crazy. It's crazy awesome. It's such a good environment to be around too.
Yeah.
What would you say? Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
I guess I'd like to know, since you've been out to AT&T, what would you say is the biggest change that you've seen in yourself?
Uh, I would say definitely my wrestling and my ground, because this gym is built around strikers coming here to improve on the wrestling and the ground. We got great jiu-jitsu coaches. We got great MMA coaches. Mike Brown, Conan. We got great boxing coaches with Gabriel and Ali, and we got great wrestling coach, the greatest wrestling coach probably of all time, Steve Mako, and MMA coach Steve Bruno. I mean, those guys base their game around MMA. So I wouldn't even say separately I've gotten better at ground, at jiu-jitsu or wrestling or my boxing or even my Muay Thai, because we got some extremely great Muay Thai coaches too. I would say I've become more of an MMA fighter, even more, and I've become more durable. I was already tough, but then there's a difference. There's a difference between being tough and being durable in this sport. You got to be able to just take punishment, but learn how to get in positions to where it's not as punishable, and learn how to stay in those positions, learn how to get grinded out and be okay with it, And that's something I got away from when I moved back up north to Alabama for a few years, and I got right into UFC, was being able to get up anytime I really wanted to. And then when you get here and you get in the UFC and you fight guys that are world-class wrestlers, smashers, being able to get up, being able to take down somebody too at any time in that level, it's just a different level in the UFC. But when you go with these, you have to go with so many guys. Like tonight, I got boxing practice with Moicano. To me, Moicano is the best in this gym.
Damn.
Renato Moicano kills everybody, and everybody will tell you that here. Like, it don't even really matter what weight class. That's how good Moicano is. And here, and to go get to train with him and imitate, it only helps me, and everything, man. I've been working on my right hand stance. I got the coaches telling me I go better right handed than I do southpaw. I mean, just all overall MMA game, man. It's making me a whole better fighter mentally. Been able to live here in the dorms, so I have no choice to just eat, breathe, and sleep this, and then wake up and do it all over again. Getting back to that kind of mentality is that's what takes you to the next level. But then, really, you can put in all that work, everything can go great in camp, and you could be the best you could ever, but a win still ain't promised in there. But that's what I like about this, going into the unexpected.
You're absolutely right, man. Just being a fan of MMA, you see it day in, day out, weekend after weekend. Two people go in there ready to go. One of them has to leave, and you absolutely. And I mean, it's a good mentality to have too, to know that, to understand it. Like, hey, you can have it, but at the end of the day, you got to be sharp. You got to stay sharp, because all that can go away in a split second if you don't pay attention. I want to ask you too. What made you decide on AT&T out of all the mega gyms that there are, out of all of that? What made you decide to go AT&T? Was it someone that talked to you about it? Was it the product that you've seen of the fighters, how they're coming out? I guess.
Well, I used to live here and go back in 2014 to 2017 with Josh the Man before he died, and I trained at MMA Masters down in Miami. So about 45 miles north of here. And we were rival gyms with ATT, actually. I mean, ATT's rival gyms with them now. It's where Kobe Covington's training at. Still have a lot of friends there, but I had some disagreements with the coaches and staff there, and I had moved back home. And then when I decided that I needed to be pushed like that again and beat up in training, and I needed to get back on another level. King Mo actually saw me at some fights and then hit me up and just was like, "Yo, you need to come here, man. You know, you could be."
Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you cut out just a little bit there.
People were calling me. My mom's calling me, but
Oh.
yeah,
That happens to me all the time too.
yeah, man. I wish there was like some kind of thing you could have when you get on podcast so you don't accept calls.
Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing, man. Because like I kept on getting messages from this like group message that I'm in for PFC. It's Peoria Fight Club, and it's just a constant feed of messages. I'm just like, man, how do I stop this? But I was able to mute it though, luckily.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So yeah, just seeing that this place generates champion after champion after champion. I wanted to come try it out, man, and I just showed up one day. I just drove 16 hours and walked in the front door, and Coden was like, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing here?" I was like, my manager didn't tell you I was coming." He was like, "No, who's your manager?" I was like, "Abe." He was like, "Okay, yeah." He didn't tell me. "What's your name?" I was like, "Brok." He's like, "All right, tell me about yourself." I was like, "Well, I just got a contender. I got a UFC debut coming. I want to try the gym out." He's like, "When you fight?" "Next week." He's like, "All right, come back after your fight then." I was like, "What? I just drove 16 hours." He's like, "I don't care. Don't come here before a week out from your fight. Come back after your fight and we'll get a full camp in." I was like, "Dang, okay." He's like, "All right, bye." I started walking off, and then he was like, "Hey,"
Damn.
yeah, he was like, "Hey, you got your gym bag with you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's in the car." He's like, "All right, wrestling class starts in 5 minutes. Be on. If you're late on the mats, then you have to go home." I was like, "Oh snap!" And I was like dead, ready to go to sleep. Like I was gonna come in and just tell them, get the schedule, and introduce myself, and then come back the next day. And I had to jump in and do the hardest class of the week, 2 hours of wrestling,
Damn.
and it was horrible. And they put the dogs on me too, man. I was dead. Just drove 16 hours straight. Sucked, but
But
I
worth it
survived
though,
that.
right?
Yeah, after that, he was like, "Okay, you could try out, but you could try out for the team. We'll get you a full camp in next fight." And I didn't get a full camp in because COVID happened and I couldn't come back down here. Trapped me. Florida shut down everybody coming in and everything. So it is what it is. It's life.
Yeah. So, I mean, especially with COVID, man, that fucked everyone's world up. Holy
Yep.
shit. What was that like for you? I mean, outside of the fighting, what was that like for you, COVID?
Uh, Boring, man. Like I said, I was stuck on the reservation for months. Got a lot of family time. You can't ever. My grandpa was like my hero and my best friend, and get to spend a lot of time with him. Man, he loves when I'm around. He's my biggest fan. So being out there helping him with my dogs and helping him, with the yard work and anything he needs help with because he's old and you know, he's old. Could be any day. And so getting a lot of family time was good. Not a lot of training time. Before that Roosevelt fight, I didn't roll jiu-jitsu in 6 weeks. One time.
Damn.
Until
Damn.
until I took that fight on a 5-day notice and I rolled a couple times. They opened up a gym with some mats. They let me roll with some guys a couple times. So I was just in a little boxing shape. Not even, but I was eating everything.
Right, right. And then that weight cut couldn't have been some fucking fun at all. Especially you
No,
said
I
you were like
mean,
180, right?
I'll tell you because I ain't in the UFC more, so I don't care. You know, the UFC doctor Davis tried to make me back out that fight weigh-in night because my kidney shut down. I didn't piss.
Damn.
I didn't piss or take a number 2 4 days after that fight. My whole body retained everything and wouldn't process it right, and I had a kidney failure. No, acute kidney failure, which ain't a complete kidney failure. I peed blood. My pee was like pink.
Oh shit.
But he was gonna. My whole body like cramped up. I couldn't move in the bed. I was like cramped up. My neck was like this, and it wouldn't come back right, bro. It was super scary. I laid in the bed that night, and I told my coaches, I was like, y'all keep that bedroom door open and y'all sleep by the door because I'm scared I'm not gonna make it through the night. So we had backed out that night, and then the UFC doctor called me at 7 o'clock that morning on fight day, and I woke up and I felt better. I wasn't cramping up, I was like, oh snap, I'm maybe I just need to like just keep drinking water. So then I tried to drink a little water, but I couldn't because I was feeling bloated because I couldn't pee, and I knew something was wrong. But I just me and him done talk junk, and I'm just the ego I got and the pride I got. I ain't gonna back out, bro. Like I ain't gonna act like a punk like that, Like I done gotten you. I done started junk with you. I walked in the weigh-in room and mugging him, and told him I missed weight and he better fight me, And me and him almost fought in the weigh-in room by the doctor getting our blood pressure, and they got mad at me. Like they were pissed because I did that, and that's why we was into fighting any like that. But I got respect for the dude. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. He met me in there, But I would like to fight his ass again.
Right, get a good you. I'm not saying that wasn't a good you, but obviously it wasn't 100% you.
No, that was like 35%.
There you go, man. Now, hopefully I see it too, man. I'd love to see that rematch.
Hell
especially
yeah.
if you get back in there. I mean, not if, when you get back in there. When you get back in there.
He might get kicked out. He lose another fight. He might get kicked out. I'll fight him out here.
Yeah. Get his ass.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much, man. I don't want to hold you. I don't want to hold you too long. I know you got boxing practice coming up. I do want to ask you before I go about the. I had seen that you were talking about the missing Indigenous women. There was a movement you were helping. I believe it was a movement or maybe a charity of some sort. Could you please speak on that?
Yeah, the MMIW. It's Missing Murdered Indigenous Women. It's been going on. It's one of the most genocidal movements been going on since the 1800s, since our land got took. They just a lot of it could be drugs and drug using. Like I said, on reservations it gets big, but it's girls and it's people probably driving on reservations and just stealing girls, using the sex trafficking and all this crazy stuff, and killings, and it just don't get reported and known because reservations kind of have their own laws, but the people I think made it like that so these things could happen easier. It's crazy, So I was bringing awareness to it, and then you know what? On Instagram deleted all our posts and stuff and all our stories, and said that it wasn't fit for their content that we were running.
What?
Yeah. So it's a little suspicious and a little fishy.
Yeah, that's a lot of shady.
A lot of shady. The runner of Instagram shut down thousands of Native American MMIW posts off our stories, everything. Like I had to go repost it twice before they stopped trying to they took it off there twice. They didn't take it off there the third time. Yeah. A lot of natives were mad. A lot of chiefs come up and was like, the stuff got deleted. Like, why they're deleting our stuff when, black people can have movements and white people can have movements.
Chinese can have movements, but not Native Americans.
But not Native Americans can put a run that we're doing for missing and murdered Indigenous women. It's weird that they didn't want nobody to know about that. But then, you know what? On my reservation, one of my childhood best friends, his aunt, she got killed 23 years ago. They never knew who it was. One private investigator saw my post, went and picked up her file, and found out who the killer was, where he was buried, his whole background, and found out 2 other people he killed. And they're like, why did it take 23 years to find out something I found out in a couple hours in one day? It was super easy. They're like, oh, we must have forgot their file. Forgot.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's trash, man. That's garbage, dude. I don't like that at all, man. MMIW, right?
The Indian man.
MMIW, right?
Huh?
MMIW.
Yep.
Is it like a Facebook group or like yeah, it is.
It's like Instagram, Facebook. It's been going. It's some big movement been going on for Native Americans, but people don't know about it because they don't let people know about it.
Man, that's so sad. That's so sad. I'll look it up and I'll share it 100%. I'll share that.
Appreciate it, man.
And you said there's a run going to be going on?
It already happened.
Oh, it already happened? Okay.
Last week, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll definitely try to make it to the next one then. If there is I'm assuming there's going to be a next one.
Gotta be, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Brok Weaver. 100%, man. I do want to ask you. It's Chattatuska, right?
Chattatuska.
Chattatuska? All right,
Chattatuska.
cool. Chata? Tuska.
Yep.
Tuska. All right,
Tuska.
cool. I'm Mexican. I got that thing. So,
Yeah.
I'm not too far from Native American.
Nah, you're not too far.
Not at all. But I always I always talk about you as like the Native American warrior. I know it's Chattatuska, but I definitely I look up to you 100%, and I know many other people do as well.
Do you know what Chattatuska means?
No, please tell me.
Red warrior.
No shit.
Yeah.
Is Tushka red or is Tushka warrior?
Tushka's warrior.
Tushka's warrior and Chata is red?
Yep.
Chata Tushka. All right. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Big time, man. And thank you so much for coming on the Mr. Hydration Station. I appreciate you, and I'll definitely be looking out for you. And hopefully we can get an interview whenever you get the announcement of your next fight or afterwards, whenever we can, my man.
Hit me up, bro.
All right, absolutely. I will. Have a beautiful day.
You too, man.
That was Brok Weaver, Chattatuska. The man's a legend. Please follow him on Instagram. MMIW, the missing and murdered Indigenous women. Make sure you look that up as well too. That's very, very important. Man, that was such a fun interview. I can't wait to interview him again. That was real cool. So thank you so much for tuning in to Mr. Hydration Station again. All right, we'll see you later. Chattatuska, Brok Weaver, look him up. He's a legend. He's the man, and can't wait to see him get back into the UFC because it's gonna happen. I believe it. I'm sure he believes it. He's super marketable. He's a fighter. He's got heart. He's getting better over there at AT&T, and it's yeah. I don't know. That's I think that's it. I'm gonna keep on rambling if I don't leave right now. All right, bye.